must not tell lies. So here goes the truth. I almost didn't make this video. It's because I'm still on a healing journey. Likely there are folks out there who would appreciate finding a way towards healing in all of this, and so I wanted to share. Okay, clearly there's a lot to heal still. I'm a millennial, and as such, I was raised on Harry Potter books. I was part of this children's theater. Most of them were like 10 to 16. I was one of the youngest ones. I was like 5. There was like this one day we went into rehearsal and everyone was swarming talking about this book, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. I was like, what is going on? I remember asking for it for Christmas that year. I was hooked. In first grade, and we were like reading a like he sat on the mat kind of a story. I like raised my hand, very like respectfully, and I was just like, I started reading Harry Potter. Do you think, we could read more advanced books? And quite literally the teacher was like, you're staying in from recess. And I was like mortified. I was being punished. It did not stop me from continuing to read Harry Potter. My parents just uprooted us from that school and moved us with a school system that would not punish my advanced reading level. I was such a bookworm for this one series. It truly felt so tangible to be magical. It felt real to attend Hogwarts. I made up all these ways to prepare myself to attend Hogwarts, collect various sticks and try to connect with them as my wand, scour the library at school for nursery rhyme books and try to assess like which one of the nursery rhymes were actually spelled. At recess, we held flying lessons. Even as I started to grow up, I still had these books. This is like my lifeline to magic. When I was 9, I got my first Broadway show and still attended school. I could see how teachers and parents were responding to me and the way that then the students were reacting to all the attention I was getting. I connected with Harry Potter being like the boy who lived, who like shows up at school and everyone already knows who he is. Like that happened to me. Like, oh, you're the girl that was on Broadway. And like I saw you in the paper. Celebrity as a child and having to navigate your peers with all this like extra attention that you didn't really ask for. Yeah, the chosen one, having to like live up to that, the pressure of that. And like for me, I was like the bragging right of my small town, me needing to like really micromanage all the social situations and be like ensuring that I was liked by everybody, ensuring that I was like only agreeable and pleasant and didn't make any enemies. The whole while I treasured how a part of my story, Harry Potter's story, was. Harry Potter also meant so much to like my relationships. It's the reason why I then went to London to study abroad in college, and that's the only reason I got to meet my now spouse, who is my soulmate in every way. And we also bonded heavily over Harry Potter. That's also why they went to London. Made a point to see every single movie in theaters and did so with my sister and our family friends who were basically like sisters to us because we all grew up together. And so it was like the 4 of us went and saw every single Harry Potter movie in theaters. We planned our travel around making sure we were in the same place to see these movies. And that was something that like kept our friendship also really connected, even as our lives, went to different places. It was something really special that I connected on with my sister, because as soon as I'd finish the book, I'd give it to her and then she'd read the book. And I remember for the last movie, we were literally in the theater and she had not yet finished the like last few pages of the last book. And I was like, you cannot see this movie without having finished the series. She was so bleary-eyed tired that then I began reading aloud to her. I was like, you're gonna finish. And there's literally a picture of us sitting in the theater, like in the corner, and I'm like reading the last pages aloud to her, and as people were passing, they're like, you got this, you got this. And it was like so beautiful. It was such a core piece of my identity and how I related to this world and to magic. When she, who must not be named, started showing her true colors as a queer person whose soulmate is trans and who has several trans and non-binary people in my life that are really important to me, to have the person seemingly responsible for such a core piece of my identity be so hateful and a terror and a bully to a community of people that I love deeply. Heartbreaking. I know. You come to comfort me? No. You come for the feather quill. You can't have the feather quill. Okay. I'm not the only one with this story. I'm not the only one with this experience of just how it made it so that this piece of ourselves, like this piece that we held so dear, that we treasured, now felt wrong. It felt like we couldn't even say Harry Potter. It felt like we couldn't even watch these movies. We couldn't even engage in the books the same way. Like, actively felt the like suppressing of this part of myself. And I didn't realize just how painful and how much grief was there, because I've now found my own relationship to magic beyond the story of Harry Potter. Felt like I could just let that part of me go. I stayed in this dissonant place of shame around it, where like I couldn't mention it, I couldn't enjoy it, I couldn't talk about it, I couldn't engage with it. Anytime that you are quieting a core aspect of your person, you're harming yourself. I've been so angry about how unfair that a person behind art that's so powerful and meaningful and special to you can like rip it away from you, distort it to the point that you don't recognize it anymore. And then I started to wonder, like, actually, do they have that power? My 30th birthday came about. My sister hands me, has a little Hogwarts stamp on it with a little seal on the back. Inside was an acceptance letter to Hogwarts that she typed up in the font, very personalized. And I got emotional. This is a dream come true. This is a dream come true that I wouldn't admit to myself anymore. But here she was, knowing that, like, no, deep down, like, I always wanted this. I'm also like, wait, what does this mean? She had gifted me the Hogwarts Legacy game. I was so grateful for the gift, and at the same time, couldn't bring myself to play it. I loved the letter. I loved having the letter to Hogwarts. I didn't know why, though, I couldn't bring myself to be in that world and to play out the dream of going to Hogwarts. She, several months later, sent me a fan-made edit of Harry Potter to the song Castle on the Hill by Ed Sheeran. And she was like, I don't know if I've sent you this, but it's important that you know this exists. First of all, Ed Sheeran's Castle on the Hill, like, will always put me in my feels. Like, that is one of my favorite songs of his. Maybe my favorite song of his. Combination of that song, the pure artistry of this fan who edited this video, and the moments that they chose, because they chose the small moments across all 8 films, curated it perfectly to the song lyrics, and all of it working together just like broke me open, and I began like sobbing, like I was hysterical for the entire rest of the day. There was so much grief around what I had denied myself of and what I had been shaming myself for and what I had been suppressing for someone who doesn't deserve to take that part of my soul away. Oh my gosh, it's like a Horcrux. She's making Horcruxes of us. Like literally like splitting our souls out from us and like hoarding them by just being such a horrible person that we want to remove these parts of our souls. That's crazy. Anyways, watching that video and being immersed in that world with such like tender loving care that was that edit, and to such a beautifully brilliant song, it helped an insight come through. The universe wanted this story to come into fruition, and She Who Must Not Be Named was a ready and willing participant to see that through. I read this book, Big Magic, by Elizabeth Gilbert. That's amazing. In it, she describes how inspiration, creative inspiration, is like its own entity, and it enters a vessel, and you're struck with that, that inspiration, and you either make sure you hold on to it and actually like see it through, make the thing that you're inspired to make. Or if you like kind of pass it up and let it go and you're like, oh, I don't have time, or not right now, don't be surprised if it then like leaves you and goes and finds somebody else. And then later on you see your exact idea in fruition out in the world, but by somebody else. The universe being this like endless well of inspiration and seeking willing participants to bring them into this tangible reality is what I then held on to as the case for Harry Potter. I'm going to be honest. The woman has not done anything of Harry Potter caliber since. So like, clearly inspiration, once it passed through her, and she did her duty as the vessel, like there was nothing left for her to give. So anyways, that's allowed me to now recognize that like the story and the gift of Harry Potter and the years it saw me through and the way that it opened up a world of story and magic and personal healing is all still mine. After I got through sobbing the entire day, I then cracked open that game and I started creating the character that looked like me and wearing the robes. I'm like getting emotional because it meant so much to me to see through that dream. And I am so grateful that the universe ensured that this story came through in my lifetime so that it could be a part of me, because I am sure that I found my way to Fairy Best Life because of the Harry Potter series. That first spark for me to like really believe in magic. I am grateful to She Who Must Not Be Named for saying yes to that inspiration when it like fluttered into her and seeing it through. And I will always have that gratitude to her. But it can end there. I'm starting to like recover this part of myself that I like had fully locked away and like pushed aside. And I don't want to lock any part of myself away. I didn't want this being who is so misguided to have the power to make me lock a part of myself away. If you want to reclaim your Horcrux, I hope that perhaps starting to integrate this understanding of art and inspiration can help remove some of the responsibility from She Who Must Not Be Named and allow the art to be that standalone thing that can be wholly a part of you without shame. I know everyone's journey is personal and this might not resonate with everybody, but I wanted to share it just in case. I couldn't talk about Fairy Best Life and not voice Harry Potter's influence. I don't have shame about that. I love being a millennial dreamer who believes in magic and was raised on Harry Potter and is now living her very best life. Yes. Yes to this. And yes to healing. So, with that, I hope to see you again in this little corner of the Fae realm, and I wish you whatever you need on your healing journey. If you, like me, were a millennial raised on Harry Potter.